Mike from Spartan Mower stopped by to pick this thing back up, but before he leaves, I promised you ninjas that I was going to go ahead and put him on the spot. So Mike, first of all, I'll kind of get you warmed up a little bit. Tell us about this unit.
Yeah, I would be happy to.
Okay.
This one right here, this is our top of the line. It's the SRT XD series. SRT, that stands for Smart Ride Technology. We basically have 5 levels of comfort in there that give you a good ride. It being that it's our XD, it's our flagship. It has the largest Parker 16cc wheel motors, the same wheel motors that are going to be found on the high-end X-Mark and the Toro 6000s.
Wow.
You have radial front and rear tires on them. Big benefit of radial tires is you run less air pressure in them. They're still belted. They're going to withstand a lot more abuse. They're going to grip the ground a lot better. And you can just see how wide these are. These are 14-inch wide.
Yes.
Front radial tires, same concept. They're going to withstand a lot more abuse than a bi-sply tire. You also can get solid tires for them. Being that this is an XD, again, it's our flagship. So items are standard, like what we call stress relief pads, which are the armrest built into the drive handle.
Which were very nice.
Oh yeah, makes a big difference.
They really do.
You get the 10-inch LED headlight. This is our own design with the headlight. The big difference with this between a typical light bar is it not only puts the light forward, it fans it out, so you can use it at night. It puts out plenty of light.
Now correct me on this, because I think I've been saying it incorrectly.
Yeah, not a problem. So this keypad, and I have one in my truck I'll get out in a minute, but the big benefit of this keypad, it gives you a lot of information. You mentioned that you enter a code to start it, and you can change the code. It only takes seconds to change the code, and you need to know the code in order to change it. Most manufacturers, you have a universal key. With this allowing you to change a code, it just gives you additional layer of protection or security.
Okay.
So you have a clock, you have your engine hours, your mowing hours, engine RPMs, battery voltage. There's also a countdown timer, time to change the engine oil. Low oil pressure light, low battery light. Then it's going to tell you a lot of things. Like right now, if my handles aren't in neutral, it's going to tell you that. If you're not sitting in the seat, it'll tell you. Once you're in the seat, you get a green light, you're good to go. So this device right here, you get a 3-year warranty on the entire keypad. The actual PTO switch, this is what comes with a lifetime warranty. So the PTO switch, this is the stainless steel parts with the ball bearing. So they rate this over 200,000 cycles. So the manufacturer of this keypad, probably a year or 2 ago, they went a lifetime warranty on this device right here.
Wow. Okay. Okay, that's what it is. So it's the PTO switch.
That is correct.
But the actual keypad is 3-year?
3-year, unlimited hour on the keypad, yes. And should that keypad go out, the MSRP on it, reach out to a dealer to find out, but the MSRP is going to surprise you. It is not as much as you would think.
Okay.
We purposely wanted to keep that a good, reasonable price. And all of our mowers, from our $38.99 to this mower right here, they all use that keypad because it just gives you so much information. And it also allows you to do plug and play accessories. For an example, the headlight, which is standard on this one, if you had one of our smaller mowers, the headlight is not standard on it. If you want to add it to that smaller mower, it literally takes 5 minutes to do it.
I wanted to ask you, Mike, just in general, why did Spartan choose to go to a keypad instead of a standard key like everyone else? Just curious.
Well, for one thing, we wanted to be different. Another thing too, we feel that this is going to be the future of it. The company who makes this keypad, they've been making them for years. They've been on generators, stuff like that. This is our 50th month of manufacturing, and no other mower manufacturer has grown from a startup to where we were 50 months ago to where we are today, which is tens of thousands of units sold. And we wanted to be different. We also wanted to be able to give the user so much more information. And also for a dealer, you know, for an example, going back to this right here, if you were a dealer and you're trying to troubleshoot something, and if you have like a handle switch that's out, and if you put it all the way in neutral, and if it's saying that it is not in neutral, you know you have a switch out by this being a red light there. In the handle, same thing with the seat switch. So it gives you so much information on there. Plus,
so it's for a dealer and an operator too.
Absolutely. Commercial cutters, they love it too, because you can figure out your productivity on it by having your mowing hours in addition to the engine hours as well. And we feel it's going to be the future of it. We were the first manufacturer with it. Now there's a couple other manufacturers that have it on certain models. One other manufacturer has it on all the models, and they're getting more and more business. And so, I mean, honestly, it's a device that that we really like. We enjoy. Our dealers like it. going back to errors. If it's an EFI or if you have some kind of electrical issue, it's going to give you a code on there.
Okay.
And so it just gives you so much information.
What is going on with the whole thing about, everybody keeps asking me, is it a bad boy?
Yes.
So what is going on with that? Spartan bad boy?
We are not.
Okay.
So the owner of this is Robert and Becky Foster and their family.
Okay.
The owner of Robert Foster started Bad Boy back in 1998.
Okay.
And in 2013, he was a half owner of the company. 2013, he broke off with the other owner, and he just decided to get into manufacturing UTVs.
Gotcha.
And we started manufacturing a line of utility vehicles in 2013 called Intimidator. And Robert likes UTVs a lot. He's got them at home. It's his passion. But when it comes to mowers, I mean, you will never see, it's like a kid in a candy store. I mean, if you ask his, and this is just my opinion of Robert, his 3 loves in life is God, family, and mowers. He's just very passionate about it.
That is awesome.
So in 2015, he wanted to design their own mower. And with a small group of people, basically went out and figured out, used the 15 years of mower manufacturing knowledge and experience he had at the time, and everything was designed on a computer before the first piece of metal was cut. And so it allowed him to play with the design and make sure everything's very precise and right. To give an example, a lot of people assume when it comes to center of gravity on a mower, if a mower sits up a little bit higher, it's not going to hold a hill as well as if a mower sits a lot lower.
Seems like a standard assumption.
It is standard, and that does make a little bit of a difference, but the majority of the difference is how much weight you have on the front versus the back. To give an example, mowers right here, you have cast ring front tires on it. So if you have a deck that's too heavy, or if you put too much weight too far forward, like if you sit too far forward and you're going across the side hill, the front cast ring tires, they're going to want to fall downhill. So what you try to do to correct that is you try to make an adjustment in the handles.
Gotcha.
Then once you break the rear end loose, that's when you're going to start sliding. So if you put the right amount of weight to the back, that's going to allow you to go up the hill. And it also is going to get a little bit less weight off of the front, and that's going to allow you to be able to track that hill.
Interesting.
So there are so many different variables that Robert has known and from the beginning. Plus, and another thing with this is just how simple it is. I know one comment that you made was with
the plastic stuff.
The plastic,
yes.
Yeah. So we used to have metal. And the reason why we went to plastic on our 2020 models is because it does not vibrate. They're easier to get on and get off.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it is completely flat. We use a 7-gauge one-piece deck with 6 inches deep. You have 5-gauge on the outside on the commercial models. Then you have a 9/16 front lip on it. So it's a very solid deck. And then having that is completely flat, you could just take a blower and just blow it right out.
Blow it out, whatever any debris might be in there.
And again, plastic does not vibrate. And this right here is a high impact plastic. So
okay, I mean, so that was my concern. Really, the biggest concern was as far as any kind of breakage.
No, I mean, I weigh too much. After I got married 5 years ago, I put on a little too much weight. But I mean, it's solid.
Okay, so that's good to know. That answers my question there. Now, what about this parking brake ordeal?
Yeah, so with our
that was my only other one.
Absolutely. As far as the placement of the brake, one thing that a lot of people like, and everyone is different. You know, with Hustler, you have the parking brake in the handles. But what we wanted is we wanted to actually have a parking brake that you can engage and disengage and stuff. And we didn't want a lever where you have to pull stuff like that. And so we decided to put it right here. It's spring loaded, so you press one side to release it, one side to lock it. And we put it in the center, so if you put your feet like this, like that. Now, if you go like this or something, you know, as far as the adjustment of the brake, they are adjustable. You notice this right here comes up.
I didn't even look at that, no.
Yep, and so you see this
pretty
bar. Yep, you have this bar right here.
Okay.
This bar attaches to the mount where the springs are attached to, and it goes all the way back underneath. It goes all the way back underneath, and then it attaches to this rod that goes left and right. And that right there is the adjustment to do it. After you run the mower for, you know, it could be a couple hours, it could be 10 hours, it could be 20 hours. It really depends on how much you're going to trailer it. Now, this mower right here is my demo. This mower only has 10 hours on it, but this mower is also 6 months old. We're just now getting into the mowing season. And that right there is my truck and trailer. And so I drive probably 5,000 miles.
So you're saying it's trailered a lot.
It's trailered a lot.
Okay.
And so when you get that bouncing and front to back movement and stuff,
it's going to loosen.
Eventually you will have to go in and adjust it. Yes.
Gotcha.
And so that is one thing. And while this is open, I would like to address something else
Please,
as well.
go for it.
So with the design underneath, we wanted to keep it very open and simple. We didn't want to have a lot of pockets where grass can build up and sit and everything. And so one thing that we have asked is, why don't you have covers on top of your fans?
Yes,
so you can get a stick up there.
It's something the minute you pop the seat, it's kind of it's an eye catcher. Yep.
So I would like to ask you or challenge you to go to other manufacturers' product and look underneath the seat, and what you're going to do is you're going to see a metal plate, or you're going to see a gas tank, so you cannot see the fans. Now if you crawl underneath the mower and look up, there's a good chance that you're going to see the fans from the bottom, because most manufacturers protect the fans from the top, but they don't protect it from the bottom. So it's the same deal if you throw up a stick or something, and it's the same protection level on this versus a lot of other manufacturers there. One thing it does not protect you is from the bottom, but of course if you're going to the engine's going to be off if you do stuff like this. And also look how flexible these fan blades are. And so I mean, it's going to withstand, it's going to take a lot of beating. And I've been with the company before day one, and I personally have not replaced a fan blade. They're going to take a lot of beating and everything before you have an issue with it.
Tell us about the seat, Mike, since we got the seat up. This is the most comfortable mower I have ever used, period, with sit downs that I've owned. So that is big props to Spartan. But yeah, tell us what's going on? What is the special ingredient?
So they're going back to the SRT. You have a couple different layers. So you have springs in the back that allows your tires to give nice movement.
Okay.
You have these bushings underneath the seat. They're called test back bushings. You just loosen that, you slide it back or forward, and that's going to allow the seat plate itself to bounce before it bottoms out.
Wow.
And so
I did not know those moves.
Yeah. And so you have what's called a 360 floating seat, which are these three bushings right here, and that allows the seat to rock in 360-degree directions. And then we have our suspension seat right here, which is, of course, it's a weight adjustable. You just twist this right here,
adjust your weight,
and this one has a full 3 inches of up and down travel. Most of the seats out there only have 2, so this one sits a little bit higher because it's going to give you a little bit better travel on it. And then of course you have your radial tires, and this right here, there are optional front shock forks on it, and you can adjust the spring rate on, and you can also adjust the angle of the shocks, and that's going to stiffen or soften it as well.
Gotcha.
So you have quite a few things going on, and doesn't matter if you're cutting a manicured lawn like this or if you're cutting a field, it's going to absorb all the bumps.
Okay, so speaking of bumps and things, people were questioning to me, and I said I don't think so, but I didn't know. These little suckers in the front right here, if you hit a pretty good sized bump, would it actually move the deck and scar the yard?
So these have been in development for about 1.5 years now, and I'm not aware of any. I personally don't have any experience and knowledge, and I have not heard it.
Okay.
I'm not going to say if you're cutting at 1 inch on a very, very
Who cuts on 1 inch?
Well, I'm just, there's always a
Come on,
scenario
Mike.
out
Come
there.
on, Mike.
There's always a scenario out there, so you can never say never.
Okay, but never say never.
As far as my experience, and have I heard it? No, I have not.
Okay, good. Now, I didn't even want to bring it up because I don't know if we went over it when you brought the unit or if we did. I don't really remember the details. Tell us what's so special about that bar that I see in the middle of the deck. Yes,
thank you. So there's a couple things going on here. One thing I do want to mention is these right here have what's called a soft start PTO or clutch on it.
Okay.
And this right here is the dampener. What it does is when the belt's going to flop around, it's going to take majority of the belt flop and the vibration out of the deck.
I see it moving, yes.
So yeah, if you engage the blades all the way up or a little bit down, it's going to take a lot of the flop out, which is also going to prolong the life of all the bearings and the pulleys and stuff. Another thing that we have going on, or back to the soft start.
Yes.
So the soft start also is the PTO switch here. This right here, it pulsates it for around 1 second. So you're not going to get that hard on, hard off.
I have noticed that.
Yeah, it's going to allow it to go, and that's going to prolong the life of the clutch. And I'm sorry I'm bouncing around.
No, you're okay.
Going back right here.
Too much, a lot of information you want to share.
Yes.
And we are soaking it in. Go ahead.
Yeah, so this right here, our pulley, is very unique in this industry. This pulley is a one-piece metal, and they split the end of the metal, then they roll it into shape, and then it's going to form it. Then they machine the center, they put the bearing down, they cramp the bearing in, and then they put a patent dust cap on top of it. Most other manufacturers, they use a 2-piece pulley that's either riveted or welded together. This is an actual 1-piece pulley. And the big difference is if you go and if you shake that, it is going to flex a hair, but you're not going to have that little slack or that flop that
Gotcha.
a lot of other manufacturers. This right here are found on $30,000 tractors out there.
Wow.
So, it's a very unique, very neat
heavy duty
pulley.
part.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And
so no grease fittings.
no grease fittings besides, you know, the deck lift point. It's the sealed spindles.
That's
you
what I
have
thought.
4 bearings per spindle.
Okay.
All of our commercial models from, you know, basically the SRTs and the RTHD, you get 4 bearings per spindle in it. And you have grease points right here on the deck lift, deck height bar.
Sure. Okay.
And then the anti-scalping wheels. This is something that's very unique. We wanted a wheel that was going to withstand abuse, not just from right here, but also from the side. So that's an actual solid wheel, and it's not what I call the wiffle ball effect.
Ninjas, this has got a grease fitting.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
Nope. And so you have a 5-gauge metal here, the solid wheel, so it's going to withstand a lot more abuse on it.
Holy cow. That is new, Mike. I have not.
And
Wow.
again, we do that from our
On all of them.
on everything.
Okay.
And we build everything on one assembly line, so it doesn't matter if it's our $4,000 or below mowers or all the way up. We try to use common parts on everything. Customers love it because you know you're getting quality parts. Like we put the same pulleys on a 61-inch deck as we do our smaller mowers. And so customers love it. They know they're getting quality parts. Dealers love it because our dealers, they don't have to stock as many parts. And we love it because it helps us be a lot more efficient.
Gotcha. One other question I wanted to ask you is, I couldn't remember, and I don't know if we touched on this, but you do offer the 37 EFI engine.
Absolutely.
Okay.
37 EFI with and without oil guard. You also can get it in a 36 carbureted. And so we offer
Very
quite a
nice.
few different models.
Is there anything else that you want to share before I ask you this next question?
Not too sure, so go for it.
Have you watched the videos?
I have.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you, Mike. Thank you. Look, I love the mower. I do. And sit down mowers, like I said, again, have its place. But I'm a stand-up kind of guy, right? And I think most people, when you go to that stand-on, you have a hard time going back. So you watch the videos. Maybe Robert's watched the videos, maybe not. But how about a stand-up for a Ninja? What do you think?
Do you think we should make one?
I think you should make one, because if you do, oh man, I'm telling you.
You can never say never.
Well, Mike, thank you so much for, again, bringing this out to me and kind of going and doing a full internal overview of everything, going more into details than what I would have ever been able to. Anyway, if anybody has any questions, any more questions about this, how to get in touch with Spartan?
Yeah, absolutely. Please like us on Facebook under Spartan Mowers. Our website, spartanmowers.com. You can visit one of our many dealers. I mentioned earlier, we've grown from a startup to, in 50 months, fastest growing mower manufacturer to go from then to where we are today. We're adding dealers all the time. And I want to thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for allowing me to...
Let's do that, and then let's do that. Let's do that.
Thank you for allowing me to drop it off and for you to running it.
No problem, man.
And we look forward to everything in the future.
Awesome.
We appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.